right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight we are going to be discussing, are women stronger than men in the modern world? And boy, oh boy, what a bit of a controversial topic we have here tonight. So you're not going to want to miss a single second of this one. Stick around for all that and much, much more that's coming right Live from Northern California, welcome to another episode of Navigating the Modern World with none other than me, Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, and boy, oh boy, you better be open to suggestions and change for this topic, because yeah, it's a good one. If you're open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. You do all of that, and you're gravy. You're gravy, like some dude in Florida likes to say, that's trying to claim he's someone that he's not. Oh boy. Oh, what the hell has happened to men in the modern world? Well, what's happened to masculinity? Listen, I'm not trying to criticize anyone here. I'm not trying to kick down my own kind. But I personally have a serious problem with my own kind regarding the way my own kind behaves nowadays. I have never, ever seen men behave as preposterous and as unmasculine as they behave today. And it saddens me. It really saddens me. It saddens the hell out of me. And you know, I'm going to try to tackle this topic as professionally as possible, but heck, you never know how a topic like this is going to go. Now, folks, I know it's late at night. It is what is it? 1:50 p.m. Sorry, 1:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 10:50 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And I know we're probably not going to have a whole lot of people here, but I will open this up to anyone that would like to join me on the Google Hangouts panel tonight. If you want to join me live on the air, let me know. As long as you're professional and mature, I would love to hear your input. If I bring you on the panel tonight and you act unprofessionally and immaturely, then I will eject you. I will remove the Hangout and start a new one. I can do that on the fly without shutting down my stream here, because I use OBS, Open Broadcast Software. But if no one wants to come on, no big deal. I'll talk about this topic for an hour or two. I have another blog to go over regarding this topic, and then we'll just call it a night and get some rest. But I really felt the need to do this topic here tonight because, look, I really want to raise some serious awareness about something that's not talked a lot about. In the modern world today, you know, women have been empowered. We all know that by now. Women have equal rights. Women have been liberated. Women are working in the workforce. And women nowadays have the same opportunities that only once men had. And because of that, it has changed the dynamics between men and women in their relationships. And a lot of men nowadays don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to deal with it. And a lot of women are getting jobs that are more prominent than the jobs their particular man has, one that they may be dating or married to, and they're getting more promotions. And, you know, I've done shows like this in the past. It's been a while, but I've done shows like this in the past. And, it's staggering that women are getting way more degrees nowadays than men are. Women are excelling at a very fast rate. Women, in essence, have surpassed men in the workforce. And, I don't see that as a problem. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. It can be equal 50-50. The reason why it is that way is because I feel that a lot of men nowadays have given up on themselves. They are intimidated by, women having this empowerment. And instead of, working hard to make something out of themselves, to, be on an equal level with their woman, they basically give up on themselves. They give up on themselves. And it's sad. It's sad. It's pathetic. And I don't know. That's not how I am. I'm a man. I'm a real man. And, I am the same as men used to be in the past. I exclude myself, from, this aspect here. Jerry Jones. Suck account. I think men are still in front, but women are going to pass soon. Well, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I don't think that's what's happening. I think, in all honesty, women have surpassed men. And I don't think it needs to be that way. I think men and women should respect each other equally. I think men and women should both, work equally as hard, should look at their lives equally, and they should not compete. It shouldn't be a competition. In the modern world nowadays, the way that I look at relationships is this way. I think that instead of, two people coming together, a man and a woman coming together to complete each other, I think nowadays it needs to be looked at as, men and women each come into the relationship as individuals and they share each other's completeness together. The man may go to school, get a degree. The woman may go to school, get a degree. They both get into their careers or jobs, and then they meet and they share each other's completeness together. But I think what's really thrown off a lot of men nowadays is they are stuck in the past of the traditional days where the man was the only one working. The woman was at home, taking care of the house, raising the kids, sweeping the floors, mopping the floors, cooking dinner, doing all of the household stuff, the household chores. And then the man would go to work, bust his ass, bring home the bacon, and they each had their roles. A lot of men are still stuck with those old school traditional values. And while I still feel, some traditional values, need to be upheld in the modern world, I think that modern men need to understand that, women have risen up, women are now working as well, and you have to learn how to accept that and work with that, or you're going to be a very lonely and miserable man, just like many men out there are today. There are so many single men nowadays in their 30s and 40s, and they haven't made anything out of themselves. And I see a lot of those men out here on YouTube. Like, it's funny. Like, what YouTube has done, it's allowed us to see how people truly live their lives. And again, what I've noticed is that the women have risen up and a lot of men have fallen like flies. And it's just sad. And that's why I'm here as a coach, to try to help these men and women understand modern world relationship dynamics and the way the modern world is, with the modern day woman being empowered. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can still have a happy and healthy relationship with a woman nowadays. Seriously. Anyway. Hey, Queen. Shane Redo actually has been here and hasn't said anything wrong. All he said was, "Can't believe I'm awake at this time. Decided to stop by." I'm going to go ahead and hide Shane Redo, because he's been here and hasn't said anything ban worthy. So, but if he does, Queen, go ahead and ban him if, he flips out. But that was not a ban worthy comment, in my opinion. All he said was, can't believe I'm awake at this time, decided to stop by. Just like Mutton's Review said the same thing a little bit ago. So no worries, Queen. Let me get to the chat here and let me welcome who's here right now. We have Mutton's Reviews. Hey, Eli and all. Hey, Muttonnuts. Welcome to the show. Muttonnuts also says, can't believe I am still awake. Just one of those nights I can't sleep for some reason. That happens. It's Saturday night in my neck of the woods still, and you're on the East Coast, so it's early Sunday morning for you. Good morning to you, Muttonnuts Reviews. Queen Helen Casey, hello, Eli. Smash the like button for Eli. Hey, Queen, how you doing? Welcome, Queen. Hello, Mutt, says Queen. Muttnut Review says, hey, Queen. Muttnuts Review says, I believe that women are stronger at some things and men are stronger at things. And then I believe that some things men and women are equal in today's world. I could not have said any better myself, Muttnuts Reviews. You see, men and women, in my opinion, work best together. Okay? Like, men and women balance each other out. Men, from a biological standpoint, Muttnuts Reviews, are emotionally stronger than women. Okay? No disrespect, just the way it is. So what a real true strong man has to bring to the table for a woman is emotional strength. Now, I'm not saying that women are emotionally messed up. Both men and women, well, some men and some women, which is what I'm trying to say, are emotionally messed up. Those people have issues beyond a normal level. But, technically women, wear their emotions on their sleeves. Women are emotional all day, every day, like the number 8. Women are in a constant loop of emotion. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the way they are. Okay. And women respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment, the very present moment. And a woman looks up to a man for his emotional strength. And if a man is not emotionally strong, which is normal for a man, for example, a lot of the modern day men today are very emotionally weak. And, we call them sissies. We call them, the P word. I won't say that here today. You know what I'm talking about. Those are men that in essence are behaving like women. They're acting emotionally weak. So how can a woman respect a man that's emotionally weaker than she is, right? When she's looking up to that man for his emotional strength, right? So a real man and a real woman are going to balance each other's emotions out. Meaning that, men are a little bit more rough around the edges. We have a little bit more of a rougher exterior. We're a little bit more in your face and up front. And women are more docile at a normal level. So a woman can bring a calming effect for a man, and a man can strengthen a woman's emotions. And together, we work best together. That's the way we were biologically made to be. But again, because a lot of modern day men have just become so weak and pathetic with the way they behave and the way they look at themselves that, women cannot respect a man that is emotionally weaker than they are, which is what I'm trying to say. They can't respect that man because they can't trust his masculine core that he's going to be able to be there and protect her from any danger that they may encounter in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So Muttonus Reviews, you make perfect sense there. Jerry Jones, I think men are still in front, but women are going to pass soon. I already answered that. Muttonus Reviews, me and my boyfriend say in our relationship, it is 100-100, not 50-50. That's a great way to look at it. And that's the way it has to be nowadays. Again, because women are empowered, women are working, women have equal rights. Women can do everything nowadays that only men were able to do in the past during the traditional days. To the person behind the scenes that just sent me a message, there's no way in hell either one of those people will ever come to any of my panels again. And they're not welcome on my channel. Sorry. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. No way. So that's a great way to look at it, Nuts Reviews. 100, 100. You both come together as a complete package, as a complete individual, and you share each other's completeness together. You don't complete each other anymore, like the Jerry Maguire days. Remember the movie Jerry Maguire? You complete me. You complete me. You had me at hello. Come on. That shit doesn't work anymore. It's pretty pathetic. Now, you can get a great laugh. Like, if I meet a woman nowadays, I'll joke around and I'll say, you complete me. Can you please say you had me at hello so we can just move on with this date here? And they get a good laugh at it because they know I'm being sarcastic. They know I'm not being a sissy. They know I'm being understanding that, hey, it's the modern world and it's not like it used to be. Women have risen up and women want to be appreciated and respected for that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you any less of a man to respect a woman that has been, risen up in the modern world. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see here. Jerry Jones says, I feel like I lean more the traditional way, but I'm fine with my lady doing stuff besides being a stay-at-home. Okay. Yeah, no. I mean, look, I'm more of a traditional guy myself. I'm 46 years old. I still feel the need to be the man in the relationship. And the problem is with a lot of women nowadays, they want to wear the pants. And it's not part of their natural essence to wear the pants. That doesn't mean that they should be disrespected or not appreciated for, the way they've risen up nowadays. But the bottom line is that, regardless of how much women have risen up, they will not naturally and biologically respect a man unless the man is wearing the pants. The man has to have just a slight bit upper edge on their relationship, meaning that the man, in my opinion, needs to be slightly in the one-up position in order for the woman to naturally respect him, okay? So what do I mean by that? It needs to be as close to 50-50 as possible. But, in this case, in my opinion, the man needs to have 51% of the power and the woman 49% of the power. And that's as close to equal as possible while still allowing the woman to respect the man as a man. Because again, women look up to men for our emotional strength. They still look up to us as the provider. They still look up to us biologically for the same things they've always looked up to us for, even in the past. The difference is they want to be respected and appreciated for, what they're able to do nowadays. They're working, corporate jobs, they're getting promoted and making, in many cases as good or even more money than their man. So they want to be respected and appreciated for that. But they also want to respect you as a man. And if a woman even has a slight bit upper edge on you, no matter what anyone says, try that out. Give your woman the pants. Let your woman wear the pants and see how long that relationship lasts. That woman will lose respect for you. She'll fall out of love for you. And that relationship will be over within the next few weeks, month, or a few months if it even gets to that point. So that's my take on it there. Let's see here. We have Mutton's Review says, I hate when a man calls a woman the C word. I think it's very degrading. I agree with you. I never call women that C word. I never call women that C word. Anyway, let's see. Shane Redo. My teacher talked about this topic in our social studies class. Well, that's good. You see, Shane, we more so need to discuss this. These are topics that we need to discuss. We need to get every man and woman out there to understand modern day relationship dynamics. That's why I do what I do here. The reason why I became a coach 3.5 years ago is primarily because of this topic here. Primarily because of this topic here, the modern world. Okay? Again, nothing wrong with women coming up. Nothing wrong with women having equal rights. Okay? Nothing wrong with women working and making a lot of money or being corporate executives. Nothing wrong with that. But I think both men and women don't understand, the roles of the modern world. And most men and women don't understand how sexual attraction works. Again, if a woman cannot respect a man's emotional strength, mental strength, and trust his masculine core and be able to look up to him for strength, no matter what, it's not going to work out. There's going to be no sexual attraction, okay? And the thing that happens nowadays, I've talked about this before, I'll say it again. The thing that happens nowadays is you've got a lot of women that work jobs that require them to exude more masculine energy than feminine energy. For an example, if you're a CEO of a company like Susan Wojcicki, there are times where she has to lay down the law. And laying down the law is more masculine energy than feminine energy, right? So if she's working a job, she runs YouTube, she's the CEO of YouTube. If she has to exude a little more masculine energy to lay down the law and run one of the biggest companies on the planet, okay? And then she comes home to her husband and behaves more masculine, that's going to turn her husband off. But I'll tell you one thing I respect about Susan Wojcicki. I've seen her interviewed, and that woman is very well balanced. That woman can go to work, get her job done, and then do interviews and be professional and be mature and be very feminine. And I respect that. And you know what? When I first heard of Susan Wojcicki many years ago, I really wasn't too fond of her because I thought she was a feminist, but I know she's not. She actually is basically the poster woman of how I feel, women should be. She's a great role model to look up to because she can go to work, get her job done. And let me tell you, YouTube is probably the toughest company to run out there. I would not want to run YouTube, and I'm a man. Trust me, I would not want the responsibility that Susan Wojcicki has. I don't know how that woman finds time to sleep, to be honest with her. To be honest with you. But then she can come home or do interviews with other creators, and she's professional and mature, but funny, outgoing, charming, and very feminine. And I respect that. So, she's able to turn it on and off like a switch, but many other women that work jobs that require more masculine energy than feminine energy, right, will come home and bring home that masculine energy to their husband or their boyfriend, and it's a big turnoff because, hey, I am attracted to women that are sweet, loving, nurturing, kind, right? I'm not attracted to women that, have a rough tone of voice and try to speak like a man. I'm a man. I don't want another man in my relationship. I don't want another man with a vagina. I want a woman. At the same time, I'll still respect her, for, what women are able to do today. But again, that's where the problem is right there. A lot of men and women do not understand sexual polarity and what keeps relationships together despite what's happening with modern day feminism and women in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? This is a good topic that sparks a lot of conversation. Mutnuts Review says, he supports me in everything I do and I support him and everything he does. It's how we run our relationship. And furthermore, Mutnuts Review says, my boyfriend is a tow truck driver and I tell him all the time, my hero is a tow truck driver. So let me ask you something. You're a modern woman, but you're very feminine, right, Mutnuts? And basically, he's the man. He respects you as a woman, but he's a man. He's masculine. He's a manly man, right? But he's a good dude too, right? It sounds like to me, Mutnuts Reviews, that you have a well-balanced relationship, and that's great. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Jerry Jones says, very hard to find. Yeah, you're saying very hard to find a woman that understands this. At the same time, it's also very hard for women to find men that understand this if they even understand it themselves in the first place. And that's why I do shows like this. That's why I do what I do. And I'll tell you honestly, I've been single for over 2 years. I've put myself back out there. And let me tell you, it is more difficult now than ever to find a good match. Even if you're talking with some women online, or you meet someone in person and you exchange numbers, women get a lot more attention than men. It's just the way it's always been, right? And so even if you're a good fit with a woman and you're communicating with her, there are times where you may be texting her, or you're talking to her on the phone and you're trying to get to know her before you go on a date or two, right? And a lot of times women will take a day or 2 or 3 or a week in between messaging you back and forth. And in my opinion, I want someone to be excited to want to get to know me. And I want to feel excited to want to get to know someone. Like, in all honesty, if someone is really interested in you, they're going to make effort to get back to you every day. When women are interested in you, like, they'll drop everything to communicate with you. And that's what you're dealing with nowadays. I mean, you're dealing with the modern world. You're dealing with a lot of competition. And it makes it more difficult for good people that just want to find that one person. I've been getting some messages behind the scenes here. To the person behind the scenes, if you're still awake when I go off the air, I will call you personally, okay? And we can talk about what you're talking about there. I just want to run my shows. I don't want any more drama on my channel. I don't want any drama at all. But I will talk with you because, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Muttnuts Review says, yes, we do. Muttnuts Reviews. I am 9 years older than him. He is 33 and I'm 42, but most think we are the same age because of how we get along. Age is nothing but a number as long as you get along. Age is only an issue. Age is only an issue if both sides of the couple make it an issue. So, it doesn't matter, Now, if you were 65 and he was 25, then I'd say it's a little bit weird, but if it works, it works, Look at Hugh Hefner. That dude was an old man before he passed away, and, he was with women, 18, 19, 20, 21. He had a lot of money, though, but hey, if it works for you, it works for you. Yeah, Hugh Hefner. I'm looking at the date. It was recent. It was September 27, 2017. He died in the Playboy Mansion in Los Angeles. God rest your soul, Hugh. I'm surprised your thing didn't fall off sooner than that, dude. But dude, you were legendary, man, and God bless you, man. God rest your soul. You made nudity beautiful, man. I will tell you, out of any publication that published nude pictures, Hugh Hefner made women's nudity beautiful. And I'll tell you, I love the natural beauty of a woman. And this is not saying anything weird. Like, there's nothing more beautiful to me than a beautiful woman and her beautiful naked body. There's just nothing more beautiful than that. I'm a man. What else am I going to say? Right? Queen Helen Casey, I rely on myself because a man will never be supportive of me because they only care about themselves. Been doing everything by myself. Well, Queen, let me say something. Now, listen. You know I'm your friend. I care about you, and you're not going anywhere. You will always be a part of this channel. You will always be the head moderator here. But what you just did right there is a projection. You're projecting, right? And it's more normal for women to project than men. I get that. You're frustrated because you've met some bad men, right? And because you've had some bad experiences, you now have it in your head that you think all men are like that, right? And while many men are like that nowadays, I'm being honest. That's why I'm doing this stream here. Not all men are like that. If you, Queen, hang on one second, Queen. I have to take care of something real quick. So, Queen, what I'm trying to say to you is this. You're a good woman. I can tell you're a normal woman. You want to be loved, but you feel that there aren't any men out there that would accept you for you and be good to you. And that's not true. It might just take a lot of time to find the right person. Look, I put myself back out there, and I've talked to a lot of women. And let me tell you, some of them will communicate with me for a while. Some of them will communicate with 10 guys at once. And then, if you ask them, hey, are you talking with anyone else right now? I don't want to get in the way of that. They'll say no, but then they're lying to you, right? Because they don't want to come off that way. I mean, the modern world is a crazy place for dating, right? So there's a lot of competition, and because of technology, smartphones, dating apps, it's just very easy to get distracted. So even if two people were meant to be together, there are so many distractions that it's very hard to just focus on one person, unless you're like me that just wants to focus on one person. Like, seriously, I just want to get to know one woman. I want to focus on one woman and get to know her. The problems I've seen is that women are just not able to focus on one person. They always think that there's something better out there. And that's their natural biology. Women have always had it within them to do what's called monkey branching, meaning that, they want to keep stepping up to find the strongest man with the strongest gene to reproduce. So even if you're the best option for them currently, right, and they're talking with you and everything's going great, if some other dude comes around and makes them believe, and the woman perceives that they are a better option, they will start talking with that guy behind your back. They'll start getting to know that person, and once they feel comfortable that person is ready to be with them, they will get rid of you and go with them. Just like that. And that's normal, natural biology for women. And that's why it's hard for a lot of men to trust women nowadays. Because women naturally and biologically always are looking for the strongest gene, right? So it's really hard to deal with. It really is. It really is. Jerry Jones says, Hugh Hefner was an absolute legend. Yes, he was. I'm surprised his thing didn't fall off a lot sooner. As a matter of fact, they should bronze his penis, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's see. Mutnus Review says, my grandfather was 16 years older than my grandma, and they were married till death do them part. That's the way it should be. I still believe in that. But nowadays, it's hard for me to find a woman that, not only believes in that, but is going to stick around long enough for something to get to that level. Okay, well, to the person behind the scenes that's sending me messages, yeah, hoping you won't fall asleep, because I'm going to be on for about another hour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to answer a few more questions here, and then I'm going to take a quick break and get to the blog, because I'm 50 minutes into the show, And we've had so many questions in the chat that I will take a break and then a few, and then come back and then go over this blog. And once I'm done, we can definitely talk, because that's news to me. Now, I'll hear what you have to say, but to be honest with you, I really don't want to get involved at all. Mutnus Review says, Queen, I went through a bunch of exes that were toxic, and then I met my boyfriend, and he showed me what a good guy is. He helped me to trust men again. And that's all it takes is one guy. All it takes is one good person to change your outlook on things, right? And even though I've met many women lately, and I've talked to many women, and it just hasn't panned out, I'm not complaining. I'm not whining. I know that if I keep moving forward, pushing forward, and, keep putting myself out there, eventually the right one will come. Right? When the right one comes, then you're going to say it's all worth it. There's no better feeling than having someone to share your life with, someone to snuggle up with, someone to make out with, someone to go hiking with, someone to do all these great things with. There's no better feeling than that. So why would I want to say, hey, fuck it? I've tried with 20 women and not one of them has worked, so I'm going to give up on life. I'm going to instead live a miserable, pathetic, boring life because I can't find someone that wants to be with me. So I'm just going to give up on myself, right? Jerry Jones says, Eli, the monkey branching thing is why I like to stay single and have fun. However, if I find a spark, I'll stick around. I'm the same way, bro. Look, we're men. We like women. We love the company of a woman. We love the intimacy, the sex. We love the companionship. To be honest with you, Jerry, I enjoy conversations more with women than with men because a lot of my guy friends don't want to talk about certain things, right? And a lot of guys nowadays, Jerry, are really pathetic, and they have nothing to bring to the table. They have nothing upstairs to bring to the table. They have a one-track mind, and all they want is the pussy. That's all they want, right? And, that's what, makes women like Queen Helen Casey, become jaded and feel like I'm going to give up on men because that's all men want, right? But I agree with you, dude. Hey, you know what? If I find one, and listen, I've had some great relationships. But in between relationships, before, I end up finding a good one to keep around and that wants to stick around with me, I have to go through 20 or 30 bad dates or, Match.com or OkCupid, communications, phone calls. Like look, if you really want to find someone good, it's like having a second or third job. That's how it is. And that's why a lot of people give up nowadays because it is a job to try to find a partner nowadays. It is. It's like having a second or third job. Mutnuts Review says, Queen, I went through a bunch of... Okay, no, I already read that. Okay. Mutnuts Review says, me and my boyfriend can't wait till the pandemic is over so we can go hiking at the state parks we love. Are your state parks closed? Because a lot of parks are still open during the pandemic, and there are places you can still hike and walk. As a matter of fact, what they were saying, at least here in California, is that, during the pandemic, they encourage people to go out there and walk. Just keep your distance and wear your mask, right? But then, even after a while, they basically closed the parking lot to my local park, Red Morton Park. And but they still allowed people to go to the park. You just couldn't park in the parking lot. So what did we all do? We parked on the streets, on the street around the park there, the streets. Let's see here. Queen Helen Casey says, Mutt, I live my life as a Christian, and I know it is not easy, but I do the best I can for myself. Well, Queen, look, you got to do what makes you happy. If you're happy being single and you want to be single for the rest of your life and you're happy about it and you're truly happy within yourself about it and you're not jaded about it, no problem. But I don't think that's the case with you. I think you're just a little bit jaded, which is normal. We've all been there. We've all been there. And look, Queen, I'm not trying to come at you. You become one of my closest friends out here on YouTube, and I want to help you. I really do. I think you deserve the best. But if you project out into the universe what you're putting out here, which is not a problem, you can say whatever you want, then that's what you're going to attract. You're only going to attract what you put out. Okay? What you put out, you get back. If you're just a happy person to say, hey, you know what? I've had some bad experiences. Shit, I've had some relationships, and while I was with them, it was good, but it didn't work out. But you know what? Hey, it was a lesson learned. But you know what? I'm ready to put myself back out there and not let, the past hinder my future, life. That's the way you should look at it, right? All right. Okay, so folks, right now we are at 57 minutes here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go through this blog. It'll take about an hour to go through it, and then we'll wrap it up. I will also be answering more questions and reading more chat messages as the show goes on. But let me cue it up. Give me a second here. What songs do I want to play? Let me see here. All right. It's all good. It's all good. And by the way, folks, I want you to see this picture here. I'm going to turn off the chat for a second so you can see this, okay? This is the problem we have nowadays. Now, you see that dude right there? See that dude right there? He's already got a hot chick, right? All right? He's already got... Let me come over on the other side, because this is messing me up here. All right? No, it's not going to work. He's already got the hot chick right there, right? But then he's looking at another hot chick walking by. He's not happy with one hot chick who's probably been very good to him. That's the problem with men nowadays. But you know what's funny? Women have the same problem. Because women have been empowered now, women have the same power. They see another man that they may be a little more physically attracted to, or has a little more social status, or makes a little more money, or they feel that he would be a stronger gene to reproduce with. That'll happen, right? This woman's just walking by, and he's got his woman right there, and he's looking at her. He's looking at her ass. Look at that. Of course he is, Jerry. That's what I was saying. He's looking at her ass. God, man. Oh, look, I'm a dude, right? And I'm not saying that I have never, ever looked at another woman, a beautiful woman, while I was dating somebody else. But I certainly will not do it while I'm with my woman, or a woman I've been with. And number two, even if I look, while I'm dating someone else, I really love the person I'm dating. And I may look and say, oh, man, she looks pretty good, right? I'm not going to do anything. I'm a faithful man. I'm a loyal person. But that's the problem we have nowadays. That's why I use this picture. And if you notice, the man and the woman, the dating the couple right here, their picture's in full focus. And the way this picture was taken, she's kind of like faded out in the background. She's a little bit blurred out to give the effect of, she's just walking by. They're putting the focus more on the dude that's already with one hot woman, who's probably a nice lady, who probably takes good care of him and probably really good to him, and this one walks by, and he's sitting there like literally looking at her ass. And his woman's like, what the fuck? Look at her eyes. Like, I can't blame her, right? I can't blame this chick. I cannot blame, look at her eyes. I cannot blame this chick. Like, dude, that's pathetic, bro. That is seriously pathetic, man. Now, I know this is probably staged, right? But you get the point. There are dudes out there like this. It's a problem. And it screws things up for us good guys, man. Alrighty, Coach, I'll be here, says Jerry Jones, looking at the other chick's booty. Yeah. All right. So, folks, I'll be back in about 5 to 7 or 8 minutes. Enjoy the music. Do not. Whoops. Hang on. No, I'm not calling I'm not calling anyone on break. I got things to do on my break here. Refill coffee. I got to use the restroom. I will call you after the show. I will call you after the show. All right. All right, folks. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. We are back. Glad you could all join me tonight. It is 2:43 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Sorry, 2:43 did I say p.m.? 2:43 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 12:43. Jeez, I'm screwing up. 11:43 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It's not even midnight here, and I'm already screwing up, man. It's still early in my neck of the woods, but nevertheless, glad you can all join me here tonight. We have a very, very, how do I say this the right way? Controversial topic here tonight that needs to be discussed often. Folks, we need to raise a lot of awareness. More and more people need to be discussing modern day relationship dynamics between men and women, and people are not. We are more so focused on empowering women, which is great, but we are leaving men behind. And leaving men behind does not only affect men tremendously, it also tremendously affects women. Women are out there saying, where have all the good men gone? Right? You ladies are asking, where have all the good men gone? And we're still here. I'm here. Why aren't you with me? Here I am. Come get me. I'm a good dude. I got my shit together. What are you waiting for, right? The sunrise? I mean, we're here, right? But we're not discussing what's really going on. And I don't even think women really understand what's going on. Women want men to respect and understand women for what they have nowadays, but I don't even think women understand what they have, and I don't even think men understand the whole thing in general. So now some men do, like myself, and I praise those men. And to those men, you need to get together with myself and raise awareness on your YouTube channels, to your friends outside of YouTube, etc. More awareness needs to be made regarding this, folks. And I say this with a lot of love because I really want men and women to come back together and work together in the ways that we were meant to work together from a higher power that I believe to be God. Now, I say this all the time. I'll say it again. I believe in God. And whether you believe in God or not, I still love you. But I do know many people here do believe, right? And you understand exactly what I'm saying. So anyway, let's see here. Nuts Review says, I use a lot of music from the YouTube audio library for videos. Yeah, because it's safe from copyright. And when you're a monetized channel like myself, you won't get demonetized. Nuts furthermore says, I am in the future on the East Coast and West Coast is in the past, LOL. Well, it's in the past for you. It's in the present for me, girl. Don't say I'm behind, because I'm not. But that was pretty funny. I get what you're saying. But, I used to know some dude out here that used to say, East Coast is the best coast, right? And then he changed it up and said, except for streaming, West Coast is the best coast because it's 3 hours early. Like if I was on the East Coast right now, okay, it would be 2:47 a.m. I would probably be tired, but it's not even midnight here and I'm still going, right? So it's all good, right? Anyway, let's get to this blog here so I can get through it because I've got some phone calls to make even after this. There's a lot of stuff going on and I guess people need my help. I'm a coach. I help everyone. I love everyone, right? It's just the way it goes, right? So let's switch over to the browser source. Let's get to this blog here. I'm going to try to get through it pretty quickly. I'm not going to dissect it line for line like I have other blogs because if I do, we're going to be here for another 3 hours. And, that's not going to happen here tonight. Okay, the title of this blog is Many Americans Say Women Are Better Than Men at Creating Safe, Respectful Workplaces. This blog was written on September 25th, 2018. Okay? It was written by Kim Parker, and it's on the site called pewresearch.org, pewresearch.org. In an era when the hashtag Me Too movement is having an effect on corporate culture, Americans are looking to business leaders to ensure that workplaces are safe and respectful, and many think female leaders are better equipped to do this than men. That's because, in my opinion, there are more mature women in the modern world than men. Men have lost their maturity. They've lost their sense of maturity, especially with the modern day men I've seen out here on YouTube. They are just despicable, pathetic men with the way they behave. And, you know, there are some women that are immature as well, but there are far more immature men that I've noticed in the modern world on and off of YouTube than women. Women are more mature. Those are just the facts. That's what I've seen. I hate to say it, but it's true, right? What's true is true. Overall, 89% of adults say it is essential for today's business leaders to create a safe and respectful workplace, according to a new Pew Research Center survey. This ranks at the top of a list of qualities and behaviors the public views are essential for corporate leadership, along with being honest, ethical, and providing fair pay and good benefits. That's a great statement there, okay? Being honest and ethical are key. Like for me, I don't want any friends. I don't want any business partners. I don't want to deal with anyone on this planet that's not honest and ethical. And out here on YouTube, I've seen a lot of people that are very dishonest and unethical, or very borderline unethical, or even have pushed it to illegal. I don't want to deal with people like that. You want to deal with people that are honest and ethical. And then it says providing fair pay and good benefits. Now, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Okay, a lot of women out there are still complaining that, you know, they are not being paid fairly and equally for the same job or jobs that men are getting paid more for. That is definitely not true. The truth of the matter is this. Okay, whether you're a man or a woman and you apply for the same job, the person that is more qualified, whether they are a man or a woman, will get the job and will get paid the same regardless of whether the man or the woman gets the job, right? Now, in many cases, it is true to this day, in my opinion, and it's probably more so a fact, that men are naturally better at doing certain jobs than women, and women are naturally better than doing certain jobs than men. You know, for example, I think, you know, being a police officer or a firefighter is more of a job that requires masculine energy. Even when women do these jobs, they are exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy, right? Now, are women police officers nowadays? We used to call them policemen, right? We don't call them policemen anymore. We call them officers of the law, because now we have male and female police or peace officers, right? And male and female, you know, firefighters. We don't call them firemen anymore. We call them firefighters, right? Okay? Now, on the flip side, there are certain jobs that women are naturally way better at than men, in my opinion. And it may be even a fact. For example, daycare centers. You know, my ex-girlfriend used to run, and I believe still runs, an in-home daycare center, right? I honestly think because women are naturally more nurturing, they are better at being daycare providers than men are. But are there male daycare providers? Yes. And are they good? Yes. But in essence, they are exuding more feminine energy doing those types of jobs than masculine energy, because that's what that type of job entails. And that's, in my opinion, what creates this gender pay gap, which in my opinion, I feel is bullshit, because the truth of the matter is this. Companies want to hire the best man or woman for the job, okay? The one that's most qualified. And again, if a man and a woman apply for the same job, okay, the person, whether it's the man or the woman, that is more qualified for the job will get the job and will get paid exactly the same way, whether they're a male or a female, okay? But a lot of women out there, because of how modern day feminism has been, like to play the system sometimes. Sometimes if the man gets the job because he was legitimately more qualified for the job, right? The woman will say, well, You gave him the job because he's a man and I'm a woman. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. He got the job because he was more qualified than you. If you were more qualified than him for the job, then you would have got the job and you would have been offered the same exact salary that he was offered, right? So quit whining and complaining, work harder, reapply for the job the next time it comes around, and then you may end up beating someone else out for that position, whether you be competing with a man or a woman. That's the truth of the matter right there. Those are just facts. Okay. Let's continue here. When asked whether men or women in top executive positions are better at creating safe and respectful workplaces, 43% say female executives are better, while only 5% say men are better. About half, 52%, say male and female leaders are equally capable. And if I had to choose one, I would probably go with the about half, 52% say male and female leaders are equally capable. They are. They are. Folks, in today's modern world, both men and women are capable of doing many jobs that were once only known as jobs that men would do. Again, a lot of those jobs will require the woman to exude more masculine energy while she's doing it, right? Okay? But we're missing one thing here, in my opinion. We're missing one thing here, in my opinion. When you are in an executive position, it requires you to be mature and stable and professional. And what I have noticed, especially being out here on YouTube and even off of YouTube, what I have noticed is that, you know, in today's modern world, women exude more maturity than men. And what do companies want representing them? Companies want mature, professional, ethical, and honest people to represent them in these corporate positions, right? So again, I would go with about half because, hey, it doesn't matter whether a man or a woman is in that position. It matters who's best qualified, who's the most mature, who's the most professional, who's the most honest, who's the most ethical, right? That's all it boils down to. It has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with who's best qualified for the position. Plain and simple. Women are more likely than men to say female business leaders have an advantage over male leaders when it comes to creating safe workplaces. 48% versus 37%. A majority of men, 56%, and 48% of women say there isn't any difference. I will have to agree that it doesn't matter. What matters is who's best qualified for the job, who's most mature, who's most professional, who's most honest and ethical. And both men and women are capable of being honest and dishonest. Both men and women are capable of being ethical and unethical, etc. You get the point, right? That's my opinion. Perceptions on this issue differ significantly by educational attainment, a gap driven almost entirely by well-educated women. Roughly 2/3, 64% of women with a bachelor's degree or more education say female business leaders do a better job creating safe and respectful workplaces. I would say that's true because of one thing. Women are naturally more nurturing than men. Women are naturally more compassionate than men. Women are naturally more docile and understanding than men. And they're more talkative than men. But that doesn't mean that there aren't men out there that can do the job. It just depends on the person. Whether you're a man or a woman, it just depends the type of person you are. This compares 47% of men with at least a bachelor's degree, 41% of women without a college degree, and 33% of men without a college degree. Yeah, very interesting stats there. There are also differences by party. Now we're getting into politics here. Okay. Democrats and independents who lean to the Democratic Party are much more likely than Republicans and Republican leaners to say women do a better job in this arena. I've seen that out here on YouTube. These conservative dudes that I used to deal with in this drama sphere I was involved, These guys, a lot of them are anti-woman. They're living in the past. They're living in the days of traditionalism, and they just don't want to see, women have a fair chance. I'm a liberal. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I lean slightly to the left. I'm not a left-wing extremist. I'm not a right-wing extremist. I'm not even slightly on the right. I'm slightly to the left, but I'm more so down the middle because I like some conservative views and I like some liberal views. And I can't stand some conservative views and I can't stand some liberal views. On the far left, I can't stand the fact that there are radical feminists playing the system and seeking special privileges that not even men ever had. On the far right, we have these dudes that feel women should not have equal rights. So it's like one extreme to the other. Why can't we just meet in the middle and be fair and just, treat each other equally with respect and just hire the best people for the jobs based on their qualification, regardless if they're a male or a female? Why fight? Just hire the best person for the job. That's the bottom line. It's worth noting that women are vastly underrepresented in top business positions, both at the CEO level and immediately below it. Currently, 4.8% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies are women. Well, one of them is Susan Wojcicki, and she's great. Now, part of that, in my opinion, has to do with the fact that some women don't want to be in those high-ranking positions. Okay? And another opinion I have is that, look, women have not been liberated that long. The Equal Rights Amendment, civil rights, and all that, that's still all fairly new. Okay? So it's going to take some time for everything to become, normalized and become standard. Okay? So, I don't think it's really fair to come out and say it is worth noting that women are vastly underrepresented in top business positions because this is still a fairly new society and environment we're living in. And it's going to take time. It's probably going to take another 50, 100 years before this becomes something that's just, completely normal and no one complains about it anymore, right? That's just my opinion. Sexual harassment as a barrier for women trying to succeed in business. Many Americans see a link between sexual harassment in the workplace and the lack of women in top leadership positions in business. Roughly 4 in 10 adults, 42%, say a major reason why there aren't more women in top positions is that sexual harassment creates an environment that makes it harder for women to succeed in business. Half of women say this is a major factor compared with a third of men. Well, I will agree with that. There are some really, really shady men out there and very ignorant men out there that, still feel that women should not have equal rights. Women should not be in these high-ranking positions. They don't qualify for them. They don't have the tenacity for them, etc. Right? And that, in my opinion, makes it, more difficult for some women to want to even attempt to work in a position like that. So, until, this is changed, and like I said, I don't feel it's going to change until we actually live in this type of society for another 50 to 100 years, and this becomes more the norm. Again, this is all brand new. All of this basically started 50, 55 years ago, right? When laws started to change and women started to rise up and started becoming more prominent in the workforce. So we still need more time for everyone to understand this and work through this. And I'll tell you, once the older generations, the baby boomers are almost gone, then the Gen Xers, myself, once we're gone, then what are we left with? The millennials, the Gen Y millennials, and then we have the Gen Z, post-millennials known as the I generation. The current generation is the Gen Z I generation. So once the baby boomers and Gen Xers are gone, we've got the millennials running the world. Holy shit, man. What's going to happen then? I won't be around, but that's when you're going to have the biggest shift, in my opinion. Now, let me check out the chat real quick here. Give me a second. Let me see how much longer I have on this blog. Oh, it's not that much longer. I got through it pretty quickly, and I wanted to. Okay, let me check out the chat here real quick. Hey, Elizabeth, is that the real you? If that's the real you, Elizabeth, can you send me a message on Facebook to let me know that's you? Because if there's somebody with a fake Elizabeth account, I do want to ban them. So, Elizabeth, if that is you, can you please message me on Facebook? I will get that message on my phone. And then we're all good. Jerry Jones says, amen. Yeah, dude. I'm just speaking the truth. I've been through all this. I've experienced all this. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. Like, I live in the high-tech capital of the world. Let me tell you something. If there's any place that feminism is most prominent, it is here in the San Francisco Bay Area. As a matter of fact, in the East Bay at UC Berkeley, it is me, my phone is charging. Well, that's great. Okay, your phone is charging. You can't send me a quick message on Facebook? I want to try to protect you. I can't protect you if I don't verify it's you. And I know you've been trying to call me, and I'll catch up with you at some point, Elizabeth. I do want to talk with you and see how you're doing, but we should arrange a time to talk because I've got busy days between my insurance job and doing YouTube stuff and running around everywhere. I do want to talk with you. I just don't want you to think I'm avoiding you. We should arrange a time to talk and schedule a time to talk. So that way, we can catch up. No problem. Queen Helen Casey says, don't you mean shadow governments? Can you be more specific with that, Queen? Mutnuts Review says, I'm an independent. Okay. It's me. Let me go get it. It's in the other room. Yeah. Oh, it's her. She just proved it's her. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up, right? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I remember when I first met you, Elizabeth. That's when Eminem's new CD came out. That was a great CD. Let's get down to business. I don't got no time to mess around. What is this? Must be a circus in town. Let's shut this shit down. All these clowns. Can I get a witness? Hell yeah. Let's get down to business. I don't got no time to mess around. What is this? Yeah. I'll tell you what. That whole entire drama sphere, I hate to mention them briefly. When Eminem was saying, must be a circus in town. Let's shut this shit down. All these clowns. Can I get a witness? Hell yeah. Right? She's like, yes, LOL. Hey, Elizabeth, I'm a lot cooler now than when you first met me, right? I used to have a stick up my ass, when I first met you. I've grown up a lot. Elizabeth's actually thoroughly entertained tonight. I'm glad I can entertain you, Elizabeth. That's fantastic. Excellent. Thank you for being here. Oh, man. I think that was the Dr. Dre beat. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. Marshall Mathers, right? Eminem. Yeah, you're more mature now. Well, look, I was a young dude back then. What the hell did you expect? Jerry Jones, MC Eli with the sunglasses. I should be putting on my my Ray-Bans. Sometimes I put my Ray-Bans on when I do my live streams from the studio. Maybe I'll do a Walking with Purpose stream tomorrow. Queen Helen Casey says, shadow governments are supposed to follow the Patriot laws, but they don't because They use it for evil to destroy everything in its path. Yeah, it sounds pretty corrupt to me, Queen Helen Casey. All right. 17 in the box right now at 3:08 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 12:08 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Let's get through this blog. We're almost done. And I'll check out the chat one final time before I go off the air. All right. An earlier Pew Research Center survey found that roughly half, 47% of employed adults, say sexual harassment is a problem in their industry. And about a third, 35%, say this is a problem in their own workplace. A lot of this is done by bitter men, by angry, bitter, and I hate to say it, I don't mean to stereotype, Caucasian extremist men. Like, here's the thing. Like, what I've seen out here on YouTube is that the right-wing extremist Caucasian men are the people that I've noticed like to push boundaries, like to do things unethically, and like to, push the legal limit of the law to the legal limit, to the borderline, or even beyond the borderline. So a lot of these types of men are the ones that are going to push boundaries with women in the workplace. Now, liberal men like myself, and it's funny because a lot of these right-wingers like to call us liberal sacks of shit, right? Okay, call us that, that's fine, right? But we understand sexual harassment laws, but even beyond sexual harassment laws, why can't you just respect a woman's space and boundaries? If she wants to date you or be with you, you ask her out, she says no, move on. Don't push it. Don't try to force it, right? Then you're harassing her, right? Why waste your time trying to get with a woman that doesn't want to be with you, right? Among those who see sexual harassment as a major impediment for aspiring female leaders, 61% say women in business do a better job than men of creating safe and respectful workplaces. That's because women have been violated for a long time. Until women got equal rights, women were legally violated, right? Women had pretty much no rights, so you were able to legally violate them, which to me as a man, I think is pretty shitty. Because I don't think women should have ever been violated. That's why laws are now in place, why women have equal rights. And that's why I honestly feel that women are more prone to create a safe workplace environment, including, free from sexual harassment, because they've been harassed in the past and they didn't like it. And as a man, I can say, I agree with them. So they're going to make more of an effort to make it a safer and fair working environment, not only for women, but for men as well. That's what the guys don't get. It's not just for women. You think Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, that lives here in the Bay Area where I live because YouTube is in San Bruno, California, literally 22 minutes north by car from where I live, and I've been there, You think Susan Wojcicki only caters to female YouTube employees, or do you think she caters to the entire company, men and women? I will tell you, the working environment at YouTube headquarters here in the Bay Area in San Bruno, California at 901 Cherry Avenue, is one of the best work environments you could ever work in. I've been there. I've been to Google. Google owns YouTube. Google is literally 15 minutes south of where I live in Mountain View, California, the Googleplex, right? The work environment is phenomenal. People have fun there. They get their work done, and everyone is fun and friendly. Now, does sexual harassment probably still happen there? Sure, it happens everywhere. But because of their leadership, they address those things. They've had issues at Google in the past, right? They've addressed them, and they've moved on. They handle it professionally and maturely. Among those who don't see sexual harassment as a major obstacle for women, significantly fewer, 37% say women do a better job creating positive work environment. I will agree with that because women in the modern world are behaving more maturely than modern day men that should be behaving maturely. But they're not. Those damn millennials. You know? Those damn millennials. They just weren't raised right. I'm hoping the post-millennials, the I generation, the Gen Zers, the Gen Y are the millennials, and the Gen Xers are myself, and then the baby boomers, were my parents. Okay? Hopefully the Gen Zers are going to turn it back around and bring back some maturity. Because the millennials, I hate to say it, I'm not trying to criticize them. The millennials are some of the most immature, is one of the most immature generations I've ever seen. Now, I'm not saying this about all of them, but many of them, from what I've seen out here on YouTube, social media, and, outside of YouTube in real life, however you want to say it, that's how they are. And Elizabeth just messaged me and said, I just signed off. Okay, congratulations. Care 2 is in Redwood City, California. Or Redwood, Are you saying Redwood City or Redwood? Those are two different cities. Redwood, I believe, is Southern California. Redwood City is in Northern California, exactly where I live. I think you're talking about Southern California. Elizabeth, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate you stopping by here. Care 2 is where I sign petitions for animals that are being abused by people, and I sign petitions for other things once in a while. Okay, great. Excellent, Queen Helen Casey. Excellent. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get back to the blog. This relationship holds up among women and men alike. Okay. There's some stats right there. If you want to pause this if you're watching this on the replay, you want to pause this and look at it. You're going to want to definitely tilt your phone, or if you have a big TV, you'll be able to see this bigger. I do broadcast in 1080p, so if you want to see these graphics here, watch this on your smart TV and pause it, and then you'll be able to see it. I'm not going to go over these because it'll take too much time, but you can look at these numbers if you want to go back and watch the replay. Okay. Women are also seen by some as having an advantage over men in other qualities and behaviors relating to workplace culture, such as valuing people from different backgrounds, considering the impact of business decisions on society, providing guidance and mentorship to young employees, and providing fair pay and good benefits. Majorities, however, say there is no difference between male and female leaders on these qualities. I think this more so has to do with left versus right. I think if you're looking at, liberals, I think all liberals believe in this. If you're looking at conservatives, I think conservative men, conservative middle-aged men are the people that are not as good at this or don't like this because they're just, in my opinion, miserable, selfish people. That's just my opinion. But most, right-wing, women feel the same way here. Now, there are some right-wing extremist women that behave in the same ways as the right-wing extremist men. But pretty much most women and all liberals, in my opinion, all true liberals will actually, will actually say, hey, there's no difference between male and female leaders on these qualities. In my honest opinion, once again, whether you're a man or a woman is irrelevant. It all boils down to who's best qualified to do the job. If we start looking at things in that way, if we truly want to say that men and women are equal, at least, from the workplace standpoint, then let's start looking at it from the point of who's best qualified for the job, regardless of, your age, your race, your sex, your national origin. Okay? Let's look at it that way. Let's look at it from the standpoint of who's best qualified for the job. For example, in valuing people from different backgrounds, 35% say female business leaders are better, while 3% say male leaders are better. About 6 in 10, 62% don't see a gender difference. Similarly, 33% say female executives do a better job considering the societal impact of business decisions, while 8% say male leaders are better at this, and 58% say there isn't any difference. Again, everyone is different and unique. Some people are better at certain things than others. This all boils down to one thing, in my opinion. Who is best qualified for that particular job, regardless if they're male or female? If a woman's more qualified, she should get the job and get paid exactly the same as if the man were to get the job and was more qualified. It's all about who's best qualified for the damn job. That's it. Nothing else matters, in my opinion. What part of that? I mean, I look at all these numbers and I'm like, it's great that you did all this research. But does it really matter? Do these numbers really matter? I mean, it's a well-written blog and I appreciate it. But again, we can sit here and throw a million numbers and take stats and do polls all day, right? But it boils down to one thing. Who is the best qualified for the job, regardless of your gender? That's all that matters. That's all it should matter. Okay. Men are seen as relatively stronger at being willing to take risks. 41% say male business leaders are better, while 8% say women are better, and 49% say there isn't any difference. Men also have an edge over women when it comes to negotiating profitable deals. I probably wouldn't go as far and say that. I think there are some damn good female salespeople out there nowadays. And I hate to say it, and I'm sure you've all seen this, some of them will use their good looks and charm to close the sale, right? I think that's, that's a little bit unethical, in my opinion, to do that. But hey, it is what it is, right? If your good looks and charm, help you sell and make you appear more believable and genuine, then so be it. So be it. Roughly 3 in 10 adults, 28% say men are better at this, while 9% say women are better, and 61% don't see a difference. You see these numbers here. The majority of the numbers are basically, in other words, saying what I've been saying. What this all boils down to between men and women is one thing. It's who's best qualified for that particular job. Okay? Sometimes the man is, sometimes the woman is. It depends on the type of job. It depends on that particular woman or that particular man, right? It depends who you're competing for the job with, whether you're a male or a female. Again, all that matters is who is the best qualified for that position, right? That's it. Bottom frickin' line. Kim Parker is Director of Social Trends Research at Pew Research Center. What's her bio? Let's look at her bio here. Kim Parker, Director of Social Trends Research, Expertise, Demographics and Social Trends. Twitter, Kim_C_Parker. And I'm not going to read all this, but again, if you want to go back on the replay, if you're especially watching this on the replay, you can pause it, tilt your smartphone if you're watching on your smartphone, or if you have a smart TV, you can tell your YouTube app to play this on your smart TV, and you'll be able to see this in high quality 1080p, much clearer there and much bigger. If you're watching this on a computer, then that's going to be bigger as well. So anyway, all right, folks. Let me go back to full screen here. I'm going to wrap this up. Great show. We're at 1 hour and 51 minutes. To the person behind the scenes, if you're still around, can you message me and let me know if you're still around and if you'd like me to call you in about 10 minutes. I need about 10 minutes to shut down my equipment and all that. And then we can definitely talk. Go ahead and message me right now and let me know. If not, I'll shut this down and then I will just go and get some rest. And we can talk in the morning. So you let me know about that. Anyway. Give me 1 second here. Give me just 1 second here. One of my, give me a second. All right. All right. We're all good. We're all good. Jerry Jones says, great show, Eli. Thank you, Jerry Jones. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I want to thank all the moderators here. Mutt Nuts Reviews. I want to thank Queen Helen Casey for being here. Thank you, Jerry Jones. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you to everyone else that was viewing and listening and not commenting. Folks, let me know what you think. If you're watching this on the replay, please comment below in the comments section. Let me know if you want more topics like these. I think it is very important to discuss male and female relationship dynamics. We really need to help modern day men and women better understand each other. It's just really sad at how I've seen this world become. Men and women were made to be together. We were made to work best together. And you know what? I'm happy with myself, and I am happy being by myself, and, you know, no big deal. But in all honesty, I would prefer to share my life with a good woman. Because when I'm with a good woman, it even makes my great life even better. It balances things out within me that I need a woman to balance out. And I also balance a woman out in ways that she needs a man to be balanced out. We work well together. And that's that. All right, folks. Have yourselves a great, great night and great weekend. I'll see you all tomorrow for probably 1 or 2 shows. I'll probably do at least a Walking with Purpose stream tomorrow and maybe an in-studio stream. Have a good one. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. We are out. We're out.